Hello, everyone. GM. My name is Duncan Muchangi from Fonbnk, and I'm here to talk about cross-border remittances and payments and how we're leveraging decentralized architecture to drive adoption of Web3 across Africa. All right. So, is it working? Okay, yeah, it's working now. All right, excellent. So, Fonbnk is a bridge between mobile payments and stablecoins. And from in the initial slide, you can see as the evolution of Web3 has continued, we have many chains that are starting up. They're very popular in different regions, but a lot of them have actually not focused on Africa. And primarily because it's not very easy to acquire customers in Africa, African markets. We don't have very sort of elaborate or developed financial infrastructure in terms of banking. So a lot of people obviously would probably not have bank accounts or cards. So this is why a lot of chains have not focused in Africa. And then beyond that, of course, we have the issues of regulations, which are still coming up, still being developed. But one primary kind of ubiquitous technology across Africa is a mobile phone. So the mobile phone has become very powerful across the continent, and a lot of Africans transact using that device. And so any device with a SIM card, you'll probably find has access to mobile money. You'll probably have access to some form of financial services using an app or a USSD. And this is primarily how Africans transact. I think in South Africa is very unique. Bank transactions are very common because you have a very elaborate and developed banking infrastructure, but in other markets it's not the same. As we continue to develop the Web3 ecosystem, we will have to tap into this device, the mobile phone, where Africans primarily transact on. And this is where Fonbnk primarily focuses on. So Fonbnk has built technology that enables any user with a mobile phone to be able to access Web3 and blockchain technology for that matter. And so what are we trying to solve with this technology? Why do we want Africans to come on board and transact using digital assets? Some of the problems that they face today include high transaction fees anytime they have to send money across borders, for example. I come from Kenya. I'm from Nairobi, Kenya. And you can imagine, even paying someone from Kenya to South Africa is a big hassle. Any company starting out across Africa, and I'll give you an example of an Egyptian company that wants to scale across Africa and collect payments in South Africa, collect payments in Nigeria, collect payments in Kenya, will have a hard time trying to figure out how do they manage all these different currencies, because they're not very useful in Egypt. And then, of course, we have no interoperability. I cannot send money from my mobile money account in Kenya to my neighbor in Uganda who also has a mobile money account. They will not talk to each other. Banks as well, a bank, and it's crazy because even a bank with multiple branches will not communicate to each other. And so if you think about the continent, which already is struggling in terms of financial services, and add on to all these barriers, we will not be very lucky to bring a lot of users on board into the Web3 ecosystem. But so at Fonbnk, what we've done, we've built infrastructure that is able to connect mobile-generated payments with stablecoins. Now, we believe that is the beginning of the Web3 journey for users. As soon as you can move money from your rand into USDT or USDC, now that's the beginning of your journey with Web3. You can do all these things I'm talking about. You can send money across borders, you can make payments online, and you don't need necessarily to have a bank account. And I'll explain how this technology works and what we've built. So on one end, we've built, it's a decentralized marketplace, where on one end we have users like you and I. We call them retail users. Retail users, for example, is someone working in South Africa. They are probably from Zimbabwe or from Malawi. They need to send money home. And so they will need to figure out, how do I convert my rand into dollars, for example, to be able to send, or I can just simply be able to send my rand and my family receives in kwacha. So That's a retail user. On the other end, we have what we call market makers or liquidity providers. So these are institutions or business people like you and I who want to provide liquidity and say, look, if you want to exchange some rand into dollars, I'll happily take it for you. And this is what we have happening on peer-to-peer marketplaces across all the major platforms that we know about, from Binance, Telegram, all of them have peer-to-peer trades. So we've brought this together into a decentralized marketplace. And how this works is we are able to automate the swap between local currency and stablecoin. Now, initially when we started out, we thought, let's go out there, put it on an app, let people do all these trades, and they can use our solution to do all these transactions. But over time, we came to realize that our technology was very, very valuable because everyone who is building a wallet, everyone who is building a platform today wants the same kind of very seamless infrastructure for on-ramping and off-ramping across local currency into stablecoins. So we decided we will not be a consumer business, we will be an infrastructure business, and we'll go directly to talk to businesses like you that we have today. And so that's what we've brought together. We brought together a marketplace that helps users access stablecoins from their mobile money or mobile-generated payments. And over time, what has happened is we've discovered that the market has a lot of needs. So while we were doing this, we realized that settlements for payments usually happens T+1, T+2, sometimes T+3. This is really impressive because it's come down from T+7 or T5, right? So we are moving closer and closer. And this is where the beauty of Web3 or the beauty of crypto is bringing us closer to T+0 or instant settlements. So as Fonbnk, what we realized was we are able to do instant settlements, and this provides a new opportunity of financing payments, right? So if you're a business or you're a user, you need to quickly make payments abroad. We are able to do that settlement for you instantly. Now, what this brings about is a concept called payment financing. So payment financing, between the time that you pay for your Netflix, for example, or you pay for Spotify, and Spotify getting that money in their account, it takes a bit of time, right? So what is a business to do when they're waiting for their money, for subscriptions? Now, that is where payment financing comes into place. The money they're good for the money. It's being collected in a bank account, but by the time it hits a bank account in Europe or a bank account in the US, it takes a bit of time. So Fonbnk is providing a solution we're calling payment financing. It's an emerging solution. I think in traditional finance, it's been quite elaborate in terms of financing exports, imports, and very large transactions. But as Fonbnk, we focus on microtransactions. When you pay for your Spotify and Netflix, when you pay for your Google services, when you pay for all this digital commerce that you pay online, we are trying to bridge that gap and providing financing for the merchants so that they don't have to wait for 7 days or even 30 days for them to be settled. And so payment financing can be applied to any user or any transaction flow. If you're sending money to your family or friends, if you're buying goods and services online, if you're importing or exporting goods, it will work the same way. And that's the technology and infrastructure we've built. So initially, like I said, the first use case was a lot of users just want to fund their crypto wallets. They just want to buy some USDT, USDC, for whatever case. They could be traders, like we've just had. They could be, degens who, they've probably moved their entire life on chain, or financial life on chain, for whatever various use case. And so we've been very successful at doing this across Africa. We today have partnered with a lot of the major wallets across the continent. And so I just want to, maybe I can take you through how this works. I don't know if the demo works here. But basically, we provide a pay widget, as you can see on the screen. And this can be embedded in any mobile app or any website. And so basically, you initiate the payment, you transfer the money, and like I said, it's a peer-to-peer trade. So you're literally transferring money from one account in South Africa to another account in South Africa. And once you do that, stable coins are deposited into your wallet instantly. So this is how it works. we've managed to bring down the speed of changing between local currency into stable coins to less than a minute. And that's what I mean by payment financing. If you're able to settle with the merchant in less than a minute, we've created a financial product that is helping merchants solve for their liquidity or working capital issues. So in the case of, for example, in Kenya, we initiate a mobile money transaction where the user just simply puts in their PIN number and money directly transferred into from their account. As we continuously develop this, I imagine this will be integrated even into mobile banking apps so that you can just at a click of a button authorize payment directly from your bank app. All right, so that's the order complete process, and then we display all the information. You can go track a transaction online or on-chain if you want to. So I want to sort of highlight some of the successes of enabling remittances and payments across the continent. And we're bringing this to every chain that is able to support stablecoins. Now, across Africa, we have been lucky, or rather, we are lucky that we have a lot of problems to solve, meaning we are building real use cases. I don't know if that makes sense, but essentially we are not speculating. We are here to solve, for example, real problems on our financial infrastructure. And so we've partnered with the likes of, for example, Avalanche, which is a chain that supports both USDC and USDT. We've partnered with browsers like Brave, who already have an embedded wallet within their browser. We've also partnered with Opera Mini, which has more than 100 million users in Africa. We are the leading on and off ramp for their MiniPay wallet. MiniPay wallet has acquired more than 3.5 million users in less than a year because it is embedded within their browser. And this is why we're excited about cross-border remittances and payments, because they will no longer happen using your bank card or simply using your bank. They will happen even using your browser. They'll happen even using your messenger, for example, Telegram. We are the only African on and off ramp available on Telegram today. So we're enabling people to make remittances or send money across Telegram, and many other wallets or many other leading wallets that we enable this. Now, we're seeing a lot of demand as well when it comes to digital commerce. So businesses that are doing that are collecting funds across Africa, they want to leverage stablecoins, they want to leverage our solution to be able to collect funds. And the beauty about this is they're completely bypassing traditional banking infrastructure. A user does not need a bank account to be able to do all these services. Across Africa, we are currently live in 6 markets, so you can send money and make payments across any of those markets. By December, we'll probably be live in a dozen of them. We've already started seeing demand of this solution across other markets in Global South. So Latin America, Southeast Asia, very similar kind of markets, and we're starting to see demand and the growth of stablecoins as settlement. I don't know how many minutes we have. 5. Oh, 5. 2 5. Okay. Yeah. All right. Excellent. So yeah, I wanted to share, cross-border remittance and then payment, leveraging DeFi and PayFi. Thank you so much for your time. I really would love to take questions. I know this is, I don't know if it's new or exciting to you, but I would definitely love to hear from the audience today. We're looking for partners like yourselves. And yeah, please feel free to connect with me today.
Yeah, it's a bit of a quiet crowd. They haven't been super interactive yet. So let's see if we get a question, guys. Shame. I said 5 because we were a little bit over, but I guess the organizers were like, "Naught, bruh. Sorry about that." Yeah. Anyone got a question for Duncan? Yes, at the back here. Cool. Well, middle. 2 minutes. Is that all? That's all he had. Yo, jeepers.
Good day, Duncan. I just wanted to ask you what you do with the airtime if you pay for your crypto. Do you sell it again, or what do you do with it?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the reason why, so when we started out this business, airtime was how we discovered that there is an opportunity to trade value across markets. And so what we began by doing, we realized that, look, everyone can access airtime, even from the local agent, from the local shop. So we really wanted to bring crypto as close as possible to the user. So initially, our first product was you could go buy airtime from a shop, and you could exchange that airtime for stablecoins. So we created a secondary market for the airtime, because, I mean, you can collect as much airtime as you can, but we need to figure out where to take it. So we created a secondary market for all this airtime that we bought, and then we sold it at a discount to the secondary market. Now, that business model grew, and there's actually people who now just trade in secondary airtime. However, that only accounts for maybe less than 10% of our trade today, because a lot of trades now are happening on mobile money and bank transfers in some markets. But yeah, that's a good question. And just to also highlight that, airtime is sort of the first tokenized value that everyone uses. They just don't realize it. Yeah?
All right, one more question. Time for one more.
Yeah.
Thank you. How difficult has it been getting governments to allow you to perform such tasks in their economy? And what exactly are the barriers between you and expanding your market? Because it was only about like 8 countries. So what about the rest of us?
Yeah. So the government, so we are an infrastructure provider. We only provide the software. But in every market we go to, we partner directly with regulated financial services businesses. So for example, in South Africa, we come here and we partner with a payment service provider business that already has a VSAP license. In any other market we go to, we ensure that we only work with the liquidity providers that are regulated in that market or have a license. So essentially, you could call us a liquidity aggregator. We don't provide our own liquidity. We aggregate the liquidity available in the market. So in essence, in terms of expanding, we are not limited by licenses and having to go acquire new licenses in every market. We can open up new markets really fast. We hope African governments will move faster in terms of licensing and establishing regulatory frameworks, but we are not, that does not stop us from aggregating liquidity. Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, and looking forward to connecting today.